Good evening, folks. This is Ron Tyler with the Emergency Management Associates.
Folks, this is Ron Tyler with the Emergency Management Associates coming to you live from the crossroads of the West in Lake City, Utah. The time right now is 7:05 p.m.
Very clear on the backside of the sun, and the earth is located around 3.5 miles southeast of the Earth now. The solar wind is also
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We've come to you early this morning. It is now 3:37 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. We have had a major earthquake again in southern Alaska, down in southwestern Alaska. The information we have is that it has been a major earthquake. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit over in Alaska at 2:48 a.m. Eastern Time in Sandpoint, Alaska. That is not Alaska time, that is Eastern Time. That was 1 hour ago, about 1 hour ago, just a little less than an hour ago. But this earthquake has hit. There is a tsunami warning issued. This particular slide shows only one aftershock. There have been many aftershocks. There have been some 6s and 5s and even 4.0 magnitude aftershocks since this earthquake has hit. There is a tsunami warning issued. This whole area here from the the southwestern peninsula of Alaska all the way down to the Fox Islands, there is a tsunami warning that has been issued. Let me put this tsunami warning up. This was as of 11:21 p.m. Alaska Daylight Time on Saturday, July 15th in Alaska. That's in Alaska. Okay, revised magnitude is a 7.4 magnitude earthquake. The tsunami warning remains in effect. Tsunami warning in effect for South Alaska and the Alaska Peninsula. Pacific coast from the Kennedy entrance, okay, Alaska 40 miles southwest of Homer, to Unimak, Alaska, 80 miles northeast of Unalaska. Okay, I'm going to scroll up here so you can see this whole tsunami warning. For other U.S. and Canadian Pacific coasts in North America, the level of tsunami danger is being evaluated. Okay, for Canada and the United States mainland, the tsunami danger is presently being re-evaluated. Right now, they do not believe that Canada or the mainland United States West Coast is in danger. Further information will be provided in supplementary messages. The preliminary parameters of this earthquake updated. The following parameters are based on a rapid preliminary assessment of this earthquake, and changes may occur. A magnitude 7.4 earthquake hit Alaska at 22:48 p.m. Alaska Daylight Time, 23:48 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and 06:48 UTC. Okay, the coordinates: 54.5 north, 160.8 west. The depth of this earthquake was 13 miles deep, a fairly shallow earthquake, as these major earthquakes usually are. Location: 55 miles southwest of Sandpoint, Alaska, 615 miles southwest of Anchorage. Forecast of tsunami activity. Tsunami activity is forecasted. Tsunami activity is forecasted for the following locations at the specified times. Forecast start of tsunami: Alaska, Sandpoint, Alaska at 0010 Alaska Daylight Time. 10 minutes after midnight Alaska Daylight Time, July 16th. Kodiak, Alaska, across the waterway, across the Cook Strait. Okay, across the Cook Strait at 00:35 a.m. Alaska Daylight Time, July 16th. Cold Bay, Alaska, will be happening at 01:35. Cold Bay, Alaska could see a tsunami of unknown measure at 01:35 a.m. Alaska Daylight Time. Observations of tsunami activity. No tsunami observations are available for report. Again, there are no observations at this time. We don't have anybody that's on the ground reporting this information. There is no tsunami observations at this time, and I'm talking about personal human observations. Recommended actions. Those people living in this area. Actions to protect human life and property will vary within the tsunami warning area. If you are in a tsunami warning area, evacuate inland or to higher ground above and beyond designated tsunami hazard zones, or move to an upper floor of a multi-story building, depending on your particular situation. Move out of the water. Move out of the water, off the beach and away from harbors, marinas, breakwaters, bays, and inlets. Be alert to and follow instructions from your local emergency management officials, because they may have more detailed specific information for your location. If you feel a strong earthquake or extended ground rolling, again, if you feel a strong earthquake or extended ground rolling, emergency officials, because they may have, ground rolling, take immediate protective actions such as moving inland and or uphill, preferably by foot. If you feel a strong earthquake or extended ground rolling, take immediate protective action such as moving inland or uphill, preferably by foot. Boat operators. Boat operators. And I've been in San Diego when we've had a tropical storm blow in. Do not Do not stay in port. Boat operators, where time and conditions permit, move your boat out to sea to a depth of at least 100 feet. If at sea, avoid entering shallow water, harbors, marinas, bays, and inlets to avoid floating and submerged debris or strong currents. Do not go to the shore to observe the tsunami. Do not go to the shore to observe the tsunami. Do not return to the coast until local emergency management officials indicate that it is safe to do so. Okay? Those are the emergency details that we have right now. I've contacted the West Coast officials that I know, both in Canada, British Columbia, Canada, and I contacted the northern part of California. The emergency management officials that I have dealt with during past emergency drills and past emergencies, they have not evaluated the exact parameters of a possible tsunami coming from Alaska to British Columbia, Canada, or to Northern California at this time. There are no tsunami warnings in effect for Hawaii. There are no tsunami warnings in effect right now for Japan or any other locations around the globe. I repeat, there are no tsunami warnings in effect for anywhere except Alaska, except for South Alaska, down the peninsula of Alaska. Nothing over in British Columbia, Canada, or into the west coast of North America, meaning the west coast of the United States. Does anybody have any questions? I'm opening it up right now. Does anybody have any questions? This earthquake happened south of Sandpoint, Alaska today, this morning. We've had other incidents similar to this in the past 2 years. We had an 8.7 magnitude earthquake hit the same location 2 years ago. We covered the incident. Okay? Surgery 68, one of my mods is saying, I think the tsunami will be light. I believe you're right, Surgery, but we don't know. Sheila Owens is saying 4 tsunami buoys have been going off, or are going off. Folks, let me take a look really quick. I was analyzing the tsunami buoys just a short while ago before I went on the air, and I did not see any tsunami buoys in activity right now. Right now. But that could change, and that can change very rapidly. Okay? Right now I am readjusting my parameters for the tsunami buoy action at this point in time on the NOAA tsunami.gov. Okay, I'm looking at that right now. Yes, we do have some tsunami buoys in activity. Let me put this information up on this program right now. If you just stand by for me for just a minute here while I put this information up. This is the National Buoy Center. The National Buoy Center. going to enlarge this for you so you can see exactly what's going on here. We have 3 tsunami buoys that are in activity mode right now. Okay, you can see these on your screen right now. So there is a significant water ratio movement out in the Alaska or Gulf of Alaska right now. What are the red buoys? Let me move this down, see if I can move this down, and I'll show you what the red buoys are. It's not going to let me show you right now. What the red buoys are they are specialized buoys that are out there, and usually they don't mean anything. In this particular instance, these red buoys do not mean anything at this point in time. The yellow buoys that are in active mode right now are the ones we're paying attention to. The red buoys are stations with no data in the last 8 hours. The red buoys are no data within the last 8 hours. The yellow buoys are stations with recent data, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in the yellow. If we have any brown buoys, the brown buoys are stations with historical data only. Okay? Red are stations with no data in the last 8 hours, 24 hours for tsunami stations. Okay? If it's a blinking tsunami station like we see right now with these 3 buoys at this point in time, this is tsunami station in event mode. In event mode. And these tsunami buoys could be in event mode for up to 24 hours plus. Okay, so that's exactly what we're seeing right now for you tonight. Any other questions? Those were good questions. Those were very good questions. Yes, the flashing red, yellow buoys are the ones we're paying attention to right now. There are plenty of aftershocks. There are plenty of aftershocks that we're seeing right now in this area. And this is typically what we see happening. Okay, this is very typical. I would show you helioplots, but right now that doesn't make any sense because this is a preliminary earthquake report. When we have more time under our belts here, in about the next 4 to 6 hours, is when I will be able to analyze helioplot data. Helioplot data is very important. It gives us a lot of information, including how strong this earthquake really was. Right now we have preliminary reports at a 7.4 magnitude earthquake, which is a major earthquake. 7.0 to 10.0 are considered to be major earthquakes. Okay? So that's where we're going with this right now. There's a lot of information going on right now, okay? I'm not going to mince any words here. There's a lot of information going on as we speak, but I'm not willing to stick my neck out any further than I normally do, because right now this is an active scene. This is an active scene. Okay? Now I'm going to take this down really quick because I want to show you some more information. Okay? They've now downgraded this earthquake to a 7.2. They downgraded it to a 7.2. Okay? The other strong earthquake right now, they have out here an aftershock of a 5.7. Okay? And you can see these other aftershocks here as well. They have 3 aftershocks other than large. They have a 3.8, they have a 3.4, and they have a 4.40. Okay? They have downgraded this to a 7.2, from a 7.4 to a 7.2. Now that will probably not hold. I'm going to warn you right now that that downgrade probably will not hold. Why? Because, folks, we all have been aware that when these agencies downgrade these earthquakes that way, it usually means that they're hiding something. They don't want people to realize what's going on. And that's one reason why I'm not pulling up any helioplot data at this point in time. It's not going to truly show us substantial information. Yes, it will show us that this was at least a 7.2, 7.4 earthquake, naturally. But if we wait another 4 to 6 hours, we're going to see substantial information that could indicate a much larger earthquake than even a 7.4. So right now, I'm going to stick with the original 7.4. As all of you know, I do not trust the agency. I absolutely do not trust the agency at all. You guys know that. This is not my first rodeo. Okay? This is not my first rodeo. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to make this a very short report because I want to go back to bed. Okay? Any more questions? JB Map says, Ron, do you have actual depths yet on these 2 quakes? Yes, we do. The original 7.4 earthquake had a depth of 20.3 miles. 20.3 miles. And honestly, it was rated at 7.4 miles deep, and they reevaluated it to 20.3 miles deep. 20.3 miles deep. The other earthquake, this other large quake that we've had, that 5.7, is also 20.8 miles deep, meaning it came from the same area where the 7.4 hit. Okay? Came from the same area. I'll show you this quake. Okay? It came from the same area. 20.8 miles deep. Okay? So we know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. Let me bring this back up here to the original quake here. Okay? This is the data that we have from the original quake here. Okay? You have the depth, the distances from me to that quake, from where I live in North Carolina to the original place where this quake hit. So don't even pay attention to that. I have the time here, I have the location with latitude and longitude, and we have a depth of 20.8 miles deep. Or 20.3 miles deep, excuse me. 20.3 miles deep. Any questions? Renee Steffi says the Alaska quake showing up in South Carolina. I'm sure it will. Okay? There's no doubt in my mind that it will show up in South Carolina. It will also show up in North Carolina. And as we go through this day, this afternoon, I will probably have an update to this quake, and I'll give you further details. I will even show you how this earthquake was seen from North Carolina and from various places around the globe. Mary Greeley, who normally comes on when something like this happens, she's going to say that the Yellowstone caldera was shaken up. The Yellowstone caldera probably got some kind of shake, since this was a major earthquake. But it's not going to make the Yellowstone volcano erupt. I want to make that perfectly clear. A lot of people get really upset, especially when she says it shakes up the caldera. Yes, it does to a certain extent. But what more than anything that she's really saying is that the earthquake will show up on the various seismograms all around the world, not just in Yellowstone, but around the world. And I'll show you that later today. Any other questions? Okay? Okay, if nobody has any questions, I'm going to go back to bed. I've been up for about just over an hour since this quake hit. I hope you have a great day, guys. I will be up and put on our Sunday school program at 12 noon today. But folks, until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. Get some rest. This will be the primary focus for us for a while now. Okay? This is not going to go away. It just doesn't. Okay? It's not going to go away. I hope you have a good night. Get some rest, guys. This is Ron Tyler with the Emergency Management Associates, and we will see you around the corner. Good night, everybody.